Hey y'all, I'm gonna just start off being honest. I had recorded a YouTube video about grieving the workplace, and when I looked at it and listened back to it, it just felt scripted. It felt fake, and I was just like, if I was the one watching this, I would turn this off. So I just want to be a little bit more raw and candid, if you will. Of course, I want to make sure that you find value in the video, but I really do want to talk about grieving the workplace because this past week was would have been my 14-year anniversary at my corporate job. But earlier this year, we parted ways. And so I had actually went through a ball of emotions. I was very aware that I was going to go through a ball of emotions. However, I never really heard anybody talk about grieving the workplace. Like usually you hear somebody talking about they left a job and now they're looking for another one, but I just feel like grieving the workplace is such a real emotion. And I really never really heard anybody talk about it. So I want to share a couple things with people who are also going through a similar process when it comes to grieving the job that they left. And the first step is to admit that you're grieving. It is a real thing. And you like, oh my gosh, why am I sad? Why do I miss, I miss the people, I miss the culture, I miss the contests where you could win vacations, I miss my parking, whatever it is. There is a sense of sadness. No matter what you went through with that workplace or whatever happened, like there's a part of you that liked that place because you stayed, right? And so for me, being somewhere at 13 and a half years, I was very attached to the workplace. Now we have highs and lows like any other employee-employer relationship, but for the most part, it was a lot of great things that happened to me and for me. I met amazing people, and I was sad because I was like, dang, I really didn't think that it would end like this, but here we are. So just make sure that you're being honest with yourself and knowing like what stage you're in and knowing that it is okay to grieve. This is a part of the process. The second thing that I want to acknowledge is that there is value in honoring what that chapter gave you and what it meant to you. Because I can't sit up here and say that I haven't had all of these experiences and learned about professionalism and being able to navigate the corporate space and writing policy and all those things. I can't sit up here and say that I did that by myself. No, I actually learned those things through my previous employer. Like, they still need to get credit because I learned so much, and without them, I may have still learned it, but that's not the case, right? You just have to honor what they meant to you. Like, you have to just really sit back, and you also have to make sure you're taking accountability for some things that maybe you did that you could have done better. But you also should make sure that you're giving them credit on the great things that happened. Again, especially if you stayed for as long as you did, even if they gave you a paycheck, you really can look at things, look at the silver lining and be like, okay, yeah, I did learn that. Like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have learned this process, or I wouldn't have built this relationship, or I wouldn't have known how XYZ works. Like, just honor what you learned in that chapter at that workplace. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is just releasing the version of you that actually survived. And I say that because I'll be honest, I know that I stayed at my workplace longer than I should have. However, I had a strategy and a plan behind just the things that I had lined up for my life. Like, I wanted to make sure I finished school because they were helping me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was be honest with you, keep it a buck. Like, I knew that there were a lot of benefits to staying, but also once I left, it was a version of myself that really has to be created, because I'm not the same person that is going in to work every morning or feeling like I'm dreading the position where I have to put on a mask or, have the feelings of not feeling like I belong. Like, I don't have to do that anymore. And so, of course, I want to keep the good, but I need to let go of the bad. And I'm definitely suggesting for anyone else who is going through this of like, listen, take what's meant for you, keep what's meant for you, but let go of what no longer serves you as you enter into this new space. Even if you are finding another workplace, don't carry all those behaviors to your new workplace, okay? Because you probably got in the habit of being this certain person, and now it's time to have more of an open mind as you enter into new spaces and new rooms with new people. So make sure you're releasing that version of yourself, okay? And also having a positive mindset, knowing that, okay, I know that that thing happened to me, but this is something new. This is going to help me level up. This is going to, really present new opportunities. It's all about that positive mindset as well. And then the last thing about it that I want to share with you is that you don't owe anybody a perfect rebound story. And some people may have quit a job and had something already lined up. But listen, there were so many layoffs that's been happening this year where people probably didn't have time to plan. People didn't have time to really think about their next step. They had to just do what they had to do to keep things afloat so that they can keep their head above water. So it's not going to be perfect. And the thing is, if people are watching you or you decide to share a story about you not being at that employer no more, listen, you don't owe them nothing. If anybody, you owe it to yourself, okay? Because it was some things that may have been within your control, but there were some things that were outside of your control as well. And so don't try to aim for perfection with this. Like, you really have to take your time and not necessarily baby step, but I will say that you should be honest of where you are again, but know that even if you have to think for a moment and get your ducks in a row to where you're able to take those steps and able to apply for jobs. Listen, it's some people that has been at a workplace for so long that they forgot how to interview, or they haven't updated their resume in a long time, or maybe they're like, oh my gosh, I have only been known to like take this route and I got a morning routine. Like, all of that stuff, all those things are changing. And so again, like I said, you just got to give yourself grace. And if you don't remember something, that's okay. It's okay if you don't remember all the things you did in that role so you could put it on your resume so it could fit the new position that you're applying for. It's okay if you're like, oh my goodness, I used to get up at this time and now I'm missing out on sleep because I got to get up at this time. Or maybe you sleeping longer. Whatever it is, like, your whole world is going to shift with this new transition in your life. Like, if we really think about it, and this is why it's so important for me to enjoy where I work, because I'm like, listen, most of my time is spent working. I want to be able to actually enjoy where I work, right? I want to be able to enjoy the things that I do and the impact that I'm making. And I'll say this is that, like, I forgot what I was just saying. I don't even know where I was landing on this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yep. Anyway, I go back to saying you don't owe anybody a perfect rebound story because things in your life are going to change after leaving the workplace. And it's okay if you have to figure it out and you feel like you haven't found a new rhythm because it is new territory, especially if you were caught off guard with you having to leave. But if you plan this, even if you planned leaving, you still have to have a brand new routine. We don't all have it figured out. Like, none of us do. A lot of us are just going. A lot of people are just caught in the daze, or they're in shock, or they have suppressed themselves into, maybe they're focused on their children or focus on taking care of people. Whatever the case is, like, give yourself grace, okay? So that is all that I have for you when it comes to grieving the workplace. This definitely feels a lot better than what I recorded because I was just like, ugh, like this is too scripted. And I know, listen, y'all gonna see my faults and I'm gonna get better at storytelling and all the things. I'm claiming it in advance, but really I just wanted to keep it real with you because I want to be able to give you this knowledge the same way that I would have hoped somebody would have given it to me. So in the meantime, take care of yourself and give yourself grace as you go through this transition. I know you may feel stuck, you may feel unseen, you may even feel unwanted because this climate that we're in it can be very frustrating. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. All right, so take care. Until next time.